Aloha, guys.
Aloha, Charlie.
Hey, man, what's happening? Yeah, looks like
Not much, Charlie. Another day in paradise.
looks
Another
like
day
a
in paradise.
beautiful day in Hawaii. Name.
Let's see here. Yep, looks like we're good. Everything working. It's always nice when things work. Um, well, welcome everybody tonight. Tonight should be a fun night. We got Mr. Augie T and his daughter Mahea. She's gonna be on with her dad. We're gonna talk story a little bit. Just talk a little bit. Heaven knows what we're gonna talk about. Um, talk about what's going on Oahu with Augie and his daughter, who's we'll have her talk about her program, what she's doing for the kids in Honolulu, and what's going on in her life. But we kind of wanted to take a little break, just break them up, bring on somebody we all recognize, and talk stories, share stories, and some positivity, some inspiration, and just have some fun. And if you got questions for Augie or Mahia, just shoot them on by. We'll pass them on. So yeah, looking forward to a fun night. I think it's gonna be interesting. Um, you never know. Heat is on, no fan. Mel can't tell without the curtain moving. Yeah, I got my fan blowing right into my face. I got the fan blowing right into my face because it is absolutely hot here in Wailoa. The humidity is insane. It's just hot and muggy. And I understand polo shirt tonight for Mel. Serious mood. Hey, you guys pay attention. You guys pay attention. Uh, no, I don't know why I decided to grab it. Maybe it was just unconscious.
Yeah,
It's a serious day. It's a serious day today in Hawaii. I think we all. It's kind of somber. It's kind of somber when you keep hearing the the cases that blowing up in Lanai. Charlie and I, we went on a Seattle radio show this morning, which is exciting. I want to thank Brother Gomes and Auntie
Allah.
Ala. They were nice enough to host us on there. They have a little Hawaii radio show there in Seattle. So we spent some time with them this morning.
Yeah, it was very
Uh,
nice.
Send me your email address. Need to send you some info, kind of confidential. Okay. Oh, I gotta go find that. Send me that a messenger if you don't mind, because sometimes it's hard for me to go back check on comments. But yeah, if you can shoot them to me in messenger, I'll definitely send you the address. Yeah, it was fun. It started off the day really good. Getting to share a little bit about our show. They are watching our show in Seattle, and they really appreciate what we do. All of them got connections. In Hawaii. They were from Hawaii. So, and Seattle, Portland, all the Pacific Northwest got a lot of Hawaii people that relocated, including my dad who lives not far from Seattle in Edmonds, and my kids that live in Oregon. A lot of Hawaii people living up there, and there'll be a lot more with this pandemic and with the economy. I think we'll see a lot more people. I just ran into an old friend today, and my partner and I were driving away, and we came across them. Her and her daughter are having lunch, and the daughter's leaving, working, going to Washington State in Tacoma. Got a job in Tacoma, so she's moving, and so she's relocating. And I think we'll see more of that. It's just hard over here. It's tough, and this pandemic ain't making it any easier. And then, the whole story with Lanai. I my information told me that we have 70 cases now, but the official number is what, Charlie?
The official
The,
number is still they haven't released the other number yet, but the official number still is 20. Yeah, but
no,
it's gonna
yeah, I saw one that just came out. I saw a thing. I don't know if it was
it,
Hawaii News Now or that it was up to 38.
38.
That was what the last blurb came up on my phone.
Okay.
But
Well,
my information, my source is telling me that it's actually up to 70. So we'll see tomorrow.
yeah, yeah.
They did predict explosive exponential growth just because of the living conditions of this cluster in Lanai. So
Hmm.
it's pretty scary. Looks like they're heading for a lockdown. I heard Mayor Victorino say that he's gonna decide in the next day or two. But if there is a lockdown, it's not going to happen till next Monday. Testing isn't going to happen till Saturday. I don't understand, Charlie.
The delay of the testing. Yeah.
I, I don't understand. I mean, you got an active cluster, but they're going to wait till Saturday. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But it is what it is. I mean, we can scream and pound and punch and yell and pull hair and scratch and it just no one even listens. And then one of the things, Charlie, I want to share with the viewers was as I was watching last night's news, and Mayor Caldwell was talking about moving to the tiers on Oahu, and it's the same for Kauai, by the way. When I read the proclamation that the governor approved, you cannot move from one tier to another, whether up or down, unless you've been in that tier for at least 2 weeks. Think about that, Charlie. So as Honolulu moves to tier 2 and things start opening up, they have to stay in tier 2 for 2 weeks before they can go back to tier 1. So does that make any sense? And you think about it, I didn't think about this until I saw what's happening in Lanai. If Oahu starts to, again, we had a triple digit day, but if we start to climb and we bump out of that parameters of what is their thing, 100 cases and 5% infectious or whatever,
Positivity.
they need to stay in that. They need to stay in that for 2 weeks before they can go back to tier 1. Wow.
I think it's just we've been toiling with the fact that maybe some of the language is convoluted in some sense because it's very complicated. I think going up, yeah, you need the 2 weeks to be in a position. I can see that because it's basically testing the waters. But if you got one emergency, a really, really bad emergency, time is against you. Don't waste time. And this 2 week rule can probably, I mean, it'll be hard to fight a spread if you're doing that, if you're doing something like that.
It's amazing how these things are structured. I mean, it's not structured with any, in my opinion anyway, without any health and safety tactics in mind. It's all about the economy and it's all about the money, and it's really it's really frustrating to watch this unfold because I mean, if Caldwell wants to go back to tier 1 and it's outside of that, he's got to go back to the governor and like you said, Charlie, the time is against us when once we get an outbreak, the time is against us. We no more time for play around. Decisions got to be made, and the decision should lie with the mayor of that county. And I don't think the governor should have that overreaching authority in that I got to go check with the governor, and then he's got to go check with the hotel industry and the airline industry to make sure it's okay. It's not going to affect business, and I think the mayor should be able to make that call. I really do.
Well, I this is my read on it. What's happening right now, and it seems pretty. I mean, I take it very seriously, but I find what's very, very hard in understanding is it's almost like I really don't care attitude. I really don't care, but this is just the formality we got to go through. If you don't care, I mean, I hate to say this, but if you don't care, quit stroking us and just open up. No play with nothing else. Just open up and we wait for whatever comes, because you're doing that right now in an official sense. You know what I'm saying? It's being done right now in an official sense, where it's almost like I'm gonna roast you over the pit, and it's just that I haven't turned up the fire hot enough yet. And yeah, I'm gonna slow down the turn so it hurts a little bit more after each turn. And so if you're gonna do that, I mean, I don't know the science behind it, why they're doing what they're doing, but to me it's just, and you can see right now the frustration, and there's this division in Hawaii. And like I told everybody, the best thing, go and get these anti-maskers, okay? And you can just see the comments coming out with these anti-maskers. They're nailing the people that are trying to do right. I mean, the anti-maskers. If you're out there and you think you can do a better job, then go do them. Give us one solution. Do them. I mean, I promise I won't leave you alone, but just give me one solution and just tell me how you like to do them and go do them. Let's see if everybody buys into that program. But right now, like anything else, I don't see anybody buying into that program. We all want to stay safe because I think with the anti-maskers, they missed. To me, I think where they missed the boat is it's okay to jerk around with even people my age in their 60s. It's okay to jerk with us, but when you start getting the kapunas in the 70s and the 80s, you know they may last for a little while. And some say, well, I got this on 89 years old, they survived. Yeah, you one of the few. Okay, when you can give me a number that's broad range, that's in the high 80 percentile, those in the 80 years and over range that can survive, then I take a look at that. But right now, a lot of stats that I see doesn't show that right now. So
Yeah, yeah, it's hard sometimes when you read that stuff. And you know, one of the things happened today. I saw the governor come out. He had a little press conference about the vaccine plan, um,
that's crazy.
and not one mention. And correct me if I'm wrong. I might have missed it. My phone is pretty good with telling me when KHON goes live, and I may have missed it. Today was a busy day for me, but I didn't hear the governor, again, could be wrong, make any mention of what's going on in Lanai. Does anyone know if he came out? Um,
Oh, in the early part, he did.
did he do a press conference, or did he? I mean,
No, he came to the podium, and the first thing he said when he took his mask off, he talked about Lanai.
what
Real
is his
briefly.
plan? What was his plan for Lanai?
They have the team that the Department of Health sending a team over, and they're gonna be doing. They talked about the mass testing. So
Oh,
they talked.
and the one they're going to start on Saturday. The
Yeah,
one they're going to start on Saturday. Yeah, okay.
yeah,
You know, the whole thing about the vaccine. Yeah, we're months and months away, and I understand. Coming out and doing that, but it's a distraction. I think it's a distraction to take everybody's mind away from what's really going on. The climbing numbers, the fact that I think the majority, from what I'm seeing anyway, the majority of the visitors around here not choosing not to wear a mask, and all the issues with the people that the test results not getting logged into the app, they're being forced to go into quarantine. They're getting upset. I just got a call today from actually a cousin who was at Costco, and he was trying to buy a TV for his mom. His mom is in her 80s, and while he was looking at the TVs, he had a little hard time breathing, so he took the mask off just for a little while so he could catch a couple of breaths of air. And then an employee came running over there and said, "Hey, my manager right there, you got to put your mask on." He said, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I just needed to get on gasp of air." And he put the mask back on, and then he picked the TV and he went up to the checkout. Three female ladies, he said, obviously visitors. Uh, they were talking as tourists. They had all their bling cut in front of him. None of them wearing a mask, and not one employee told him anything. And he was livid. He was livid. I mean, we spoke for about 15 or 20 minutes, and really, really angry. And did I think the governor tries to distract us with, I understand. I mean, a vaccine is something that we're all gonna have to wait for, and we understand that the people on the front lines and the people with underlying health conditions and care homes and all of these places are going to be on a priority list. But I would really like to hear him talk about his plan for what's going to happen when we see the surge like we're seeing in Lanai. When that happens, I want to hear the state's plan for that, and how, what we only have a limited number of beds, ICU units, ventilators. What would be the plan? Or is there a plan on the books? And I don't know this, but is there a plan on the books to have the Mercy ship come, the medical ship? Is there a plan to build MASH hospitals? What's the plan? Or are we just banking on not getting, that in fact the testing process and all of this pre-testing process that we have is enough. I don't know. I just don't feel like I am being informed by our leaders adequately. I don't. And I think many of you share that. And we get information from our sources that, that we share on our nightly show, but the general public is not getting that information. And that, I think, is where a lot of the problems lie, and the division in the communities lie. But anyway, Augie's in the waiting room. Whoa.
What's going on?
Whoa.
I cannot wait to like. Are you guys still doing the song at the end?
We haven't done that in a while.
You guys are like totally serious. I can relate.
Serious.
No, I can relate to that 100%.
But we can always do it. We can always do it for you. You know what I mean?
I mean, laughter heals the soul, and especially the way you guys do it. I mean, how can you not want to get healing? That's a healing and a half. I used to tell people, if you are struggling in your relationship with your wife, come to a comedy show. You don't need Viagra. And I think it's the same thing with what you guys did, when you guys didn't get 1.2 comments on like your Facebook pages. Amazing. Amazing. There's a lot I've learned in the last year, and how, people like to look down at the fact that I made people laugh for 28 years. And, I just kind of laugh behind the scenes because, I know what value that brought a lot of people. Yeah. See, the smart people understand that. They go, I get what he's doing. He's bringing relief. But that's what happens when you live in a bubble. And all I ask is that at the end of the night, I know Charlie gotta go grab the guitar. I know Mel, you gotta go grab yours. And I will give you guys a moment to go grab the instruments so that we can all engage in that of the Kauai Tabernacle. I don't know what you call it, but
well, it's called Flatten the Curve. That's what it's called. And in fact, we forget that from when we did that every night. That was the highlight of the show. We kind of got away from that as things got serious, and a couple of guests came back on and that had been on prior. Some of the the top dogs, and at the end of the show they say, wait, you guys not gonna do your song? Oh, okay, let's go do the song. So we've done it a couple of times. I'm seeing the comments, and people have no idea what we're talking about, and they cannot wait to hear me and Charlie sing. So we will do it tonight.
Okay, this is the problem I ran into. As you know, that I also am a professional musician, played a club scene and all that.
Yeah.
Well, before COVID went all the way down, that we never.
Charlie just froze.
No, I went on stage and I couldn't get out of that flat tone. And the other guys just told me, brah, what happened? And I said, hey, I sing flat so much now, the bugger stuck. So I had to be one of those just regular players singing in the background, just no open my mouth and just play.
Good point then. That is the reason why you should never get comfortable. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people looking for change, because what happens if you get too complacent, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot funnier to just, sing off course. But when you do it on a daily basis, you gotta
But Augie, explain this, Augie. Explain this. Now, while Charlie maybe Charlie ran into some problem. Maybe he did.
Right.
I have been getting solicitations to perform all over the world. Journey asked me to play to go be backup. I mean, I've been getting solicited from bands that you and I used to listen to.
He just got solicited from the convention, hearing impaired convention. They didn't sign him up. So
that's the reason. And that's the reason why you guys been so successful, because you bring balance. And have to have balance in everything you do. And sometimes in the last year, I've lost my mind so many times because I think if I ever get the opportunity or given the opportunity to do comedy, you guys have no idea how much I have written in the last year. And
Oh,
it's challenging because Mel know this because there's a side of me that goes, ooh, what if, God willing, I'm put in a place to be statesman-like, to be a city council member, to make tough decisions, and then shake it off and then go do comedy. Will people continue to judge, kind of like what they're doing now? Absolutely.
Mhm.
We all got to do what we think or feel is right. So, you guys have been serious since the last time Frank DeLima and I. Now I'm gonna try bring balance. We can talk a little bit serious, but then I think people love you guys because of who you guys are and what you guys bring to the table. And you guys very relatable people. You guys know how to put smiles on people's faces. You guys know how to directly talk to people and show a side that, man, that's getting thousands and thousands of viewers. And that's the kind of stuff that I've always been interested in. I cannot wait to be a part of the discussion, but I also cannot wait to even find comedy in that, because for me, that's my balance. I cannot do it the way I used to do it, but like I love looking back, or when I get my quiet time, besides praying to God every night, I find some funny moments in my life where I just in my bed laughing to myself, and I would ask myself, will I ever get that opportunity to say those things that I just written down?
and you
So
will, Augie.
maybe
Regardless of, and everybody knows Augie is a candidate for city council on Oahu.
Yeah.
For district, what district? I don't even know the district.
District 9. So it's
District
a
9.
really big district, 125,000 residents, 57,000 registered voters in almost 33,000 homes in District 9.
Wow.
And I've
So we
learned to
know,
memorize that.
we know Augie as a comedian. We know Augie as a local comedian. A lot of people didn't. We had Augie on a show a couple of times, and he's kind of shared his life, and people realize, hey, this guy is a real dude, man. He's a real guy. He struggled like everybody else. And Augie, I know when I texted you to make sure, because I worry if our guests gonna ever show up, right? Sometimes, not with everybody. It's really only with you, actually.
It's coming.
So I texted Augie, and he says, yeah, I just coming home now because he's working. He's working all day, and he gonna come on our show. And then Augie, is it true you gotta go back work tonight?
My daughter, and I know you're gonna have Mahea come on. She's gonna come on, but because she has a test tomorrow, I called my job and said, I'm gonna be a little bit late because I want to see at the very end of this amazing podcast the amazing, vocal, especially now that I know that Journey is coming after you, Mel, and
Nah, it's
other groups.
amazing,
I
man.
feel bad for Charlie, but you know, I'm just blown away. I was blown away.
It's Journey. Not just Journey. There's many others, but I, I cannot leave this beautiful home. And plus, I scared of COVID.
And,
I don't want to
I'm
go.
glad you guys breaking away, because I popped into several of you guys' topics where like it gets pretty intense, and there's a lot of people scared. There's a lot of people worried about when the next paycheck is coming, and you guys bring so much amazing information, and I appreciate you guys having me on to just kind of lighten up you guys your amazing podcast.
Well, do me
But
a
you,
favor, Augie. Tonight, when you go work tonight,
Yeah.
go to your phone with nobody looking. Go to my YouTube channel and watch our show last night.
Okay. All right.
Bro, we're not even gonna give you any clues or hints, because I will tell you something.
Okay.
Something magical happened last night.
Okay.
I can't explain it except 4 shots in my espresso coffee that maybe triggered it. I don't know. but I know that you're gonna really appreciate it.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, you're
I
gonna
get I
really
get
appreciate
lots of time in the middle of the night to be entertained. And I know you know this all too well. There's many nights where I'm sitting in the bathroom, just this is my life right now. This is my life. But hey, like I said a year ago, and by the way, you guys were like the first, real big podcast to invite me on so that I can share a little bit about why I'm running and and my passion behind wanting to run is because of meeting great people like Mel in the years that I've worked,
Good.
with Billy Kinoy and then later on with Shan. I always felt like that was something that I always wanted to be a part of, and I saw some amazing works, and nothing excites me more the fact that I might be able to be in somebody's discussion and speak and listen on behalf of the people in the community. And Mel has been super encouraging, telling me that this is gonna be good. Gonna be you're gonna be able to help a lot of people, and that's the reason why I think I'm still excited about the next 12 days. I'm still excited about the possibility, but I'm good no matter what the results happen, whatever happens in 12 days. And I tell you why, because I've learned so much about me and I've become a better person. I think if given an opportunity to do comedy again, like I said, I think it's going to be amazing because I have a different insight on life and things that I've seen. I'm a lot more empathetic to people. Uh, I've seen the good and the bad side, and one of the things that I learned in the last 28 years, Mel, is that when you go into something, especially with entertainment, and Charlie, you know this being an entertainer, you know, uh, you walk into a room and people ready to see you, they love you, they're gonna laugh, and you don't see the other side. And I got to experience the other side, and not everybody likes Augie. And I've had to learn how to humble myself. I've had to learn how to, you know, put my foot in their shoes, even though I don't understand it, but try my best to take a deep breath and not go local boy action, because it's so easy for us to go local boy action and go, well, come outside and tell me that. And I've had to learn how to take a deep breath and apologize when you're sorry and admit you wrong. And I've never had to do that because, with comedy, there's no sorry. You do it because you try to strike a nerve or try to say something that might be relevant or might not be relevant. It's just the whole purpose is to make people laugh. But in this new realm, not the same. And I've had many lonely nights, and I think Mel can understand this. Running for office, there have been many 2, 3 o'clock in the morning just tossing and turning. So there's a lot, that's
It doesn't go away. Okay, it doesn't go away. Welcome to the life. Hey, Augie, real quick,
Yep.
where is District 9? What towns does District 9 cover?
Okay,
Somebody's
so
asking.
if you're going into Ever Beach, this is where it gets crazy because people are like, vote for me. They go, well, I don't see your name on the ballot, Augie, because you're not in my district. It's Ever Beach. So if you're going into Ever Beach, left of Fort Weaver Road, not right of Fort Weaver Road, and this is all of Ever Beach. Left of Fort Weaver Road, going all the way down to Water's Edge, is my district. So it's like, I would call that old Ever Beach, old plantation, left all the way down to Water's Edge, and it goes by Iroquois Point. Then it goes up, and there's a small district, believe it or not, in Waipahu. And it stops at like Waikele Stream, and then it goes up to Waikele. Then it goes up to Kunia, and then they get some portions of Mililani, not all of Mililani, but some Mililani. And then there's a new residential district by the Croc Center in Waikapole called Ho'opili. And there's a bunch of homes there that the district covers. So it's a really big district with a lot of there's a mixed variety of Republicans and Democrats, and even as far as wealth too. There's if you go into whatever beach, the right hand side, they got $1 million homes now, and you get old residents on my side that's struggling. So we have the highest unemployment rate in Waipahu and in Ever Beach. So I'm really hearing how this is, affecting them, because it's affecting me, believe it or not. I'm not gonna ever lie about it, but I don't want to say it so that people feel sorry for me. But after being in a bubble for 28 years of entertaining and being able to take care of myself, it was all taken away. And I had to do the same thing that everybody else is doing. So I feel it. And maybe God, if you believe in God, prepared me for that, so that I can understand. So
Yeah, well, it has nothing to do with people. I think people gotta know. I know, and it's one of the tough things about campaigning. Now, what I was going to tell you, and I told you this before, Augie. One thing, Augie, we've known each other for a long time, and one of the only reasons why we don't even do political shows. We had a political forum or candidate profile for our Kauai County Council candidates, but I feel very comfortable with you because I know your heart. I can promise you, people, you vote for a person. I don't care, Democrat, Republican. Me, I don't care. I don't vote party. And I wish everybody didn't vote party, but a lot of people do. But see, you vote for the person because what's inside the heart, right? If that person's heart, whether we agree or disagree on issues, is really irrelevant. You want to vote for someone that before they say aye or no, is doing it because the intention was right and that it was the right thing to do as far as that person is concerned. Now, the fact that you were entertaining for so many years, and that had to end because you chose a life in, taking a chance really to go run for public office. And now you got to work. You got to work at night. You got to work at day, and we all know that. I mean, we all. But some politicians cannot. They've never had that life. They've never had that life where they had to worry about where their next rent check gonna come from.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand the apprehension to talk about that because, like people think that, oh gosh, now he's trying to make us feel sorry for him. But the fact is, and that's why I can't say it, you don't have to, I can, is that, this guy is a working guy. He's supporting his family, trying his best. And hey, you pahana, you go home, you bocha, you back in your car and go into your next job because you got to pay your bills. And I like people like that because you know what? I've worked with both. All my years in accounting, I've worked with both. And I cannot handle people that decision makers that when you're talking about, let's say, a tax increase, say you're talking about tax increase, fuel tax, or whatever it may be. And some politicians may feel, that's only $30 a month. Like, if you know more $30 a month extra, you may as well make them $1 million. People cannot grasp that there are actually people in our society that do not have an extra dollar a month. Mm-hmm. They don't. And the decision makers that can relate to that and use that in their process for decision making, that's the ones I'm looking for.
Yeah, no.
So I appreciate you, man. I really do. And I appreciate you. Again, we don't have time tonight to go through that whole story, but I wanted to cover that because I think people need to understand that there's more to Augie T than making people laugh.
Well, and I think it was important for that to happen because I could have easily pulled the plug in January, honestly. When I walked from the radio station to Honolulu Hale, don't even think for once it didn't cross my mind. Like, go through this process, maybe be criticized for who I am, or do it because that's the right thing to do. That you are tired like everybody else, and why not use a celebrity the right way? Everything's gonna work out okay. And that's where, for a lot of us, I'm a man of God and faith. That's where faith come in. You have to believe in the unseen, And for me, I went on and I continued because I had faith that everything was going to be okay. And, and it's the best thing that ever happened, honestly. That's why I'm in a good place. And I'm excited to go work at night. I'm excited to do what I'm doing because, man, I've learned so much about me, and it's made me a better person. And I'm just excited to share that and bring that perspective. Like when we say $29.95 gonna cost, I like try to hold somebody hand to the fire and go, you told me $29.95. Why is it $39.95 now? I gotta go tell that to a guy in Mililani who is struggling to make ends meet. Why is it $39.99? Just explain that to me. That's all. If you can explain that to me, then we good. And that's and that to me, that's why I'm excited about sitting in that prospect, coming in and understanding or being able to relate that to maybe a bunch of politicians. I don't know. All I know is that I'm excited about the next 12 days. I'm swinging. I feel like there's momentum. I mean, come on. I'm on the Mel Raposa and Charlie show. There's momentum. I cannot, hey, I'm being outspent. But I know that I'm working my tail off because people, and you know this, Mel, it's so hard. You can have the worst day. You go sine wave and get honks, get guys going, yeah, okay. You go 7-Eleven, they pull you on the side and they go, bro, I don't know why you doing this, but right on. That makes everything just go away. And that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about November 4th. That's what I'm excited about.
Well, we're really trying to get Mr. Charles Iona on the ballot in 2022. And so I love this speech because I can see Charlie. Look at him, he's lighting up like, yeah, yeah, turn me loose, baby.
I mean, Charlie, you're already, singing flat. You might as well turn it around and spin it on him and go, as a police officer, I was an amazing singer until I was, outsang by Mel Raposo, who is being introduced by Journey. And then I hearing political people talk every night. Now I'm throwing my hat in the ring. I'm Charles Aona, and I'm running to be the next.
Oh. I already voted. Damn it. I should have wrote his name in on the ballot. Damn.
He's lost for words.
All I can do is smile. I am humbled. I am humbled by your support.
Not just me. Look at all the comments. Gosh.
Yeah, pour the comments in. Let's do it. We need more and more everyday people. And, I want to encourage. And one of the reasons why I'm running is because I know you can have my daughter on in a couple of minutes. It's because of my daughter. And if I can inspire some local girl or local boy who looking at this or watching the process happen and go, if Uncle Augie can do it, Uncle Mel can do it, and I can do it too, because I just like serve my community. I like help. I know I'm going to get criticism. I know I got to raise money. I know but I'm going to do them because I like help my community. And, you can do that without running for office. But if you want to learn and you want to really understand who you are, do it. Right, Mel?
Look at Charlie, man. He's like, yeah.
Really?
Hey, Augie, I gotta ask, and I gotta ask now, because you've been holding sign, have you ever got the middle finger?
No.
Then you haven't arrived yet, bro. Then you haven't arrived, man.
No, I got people.
If you get the double,
yeah,
then I'm making a difference.
Yeah. So there was an incident that happened, a couple months ago. I thought, that was gonna happen, but amazingly, that never happened. People can on Friday in Ever Beach, there's Team Augie, 8 of us. There's Black Lives Matter on one side, and there's like 600, maybe 500 deep of Trump people that go around. And you get honks, and you get several that go by. They go in, they stick free, and then they come by us. Then they realize, oh, it's Augie, and they go, hey, so that turns into that. So have been, you know, because I think, you know, people, you don't see any other candidates when these guys are out there, and hey, I'm not gonna get pushed out because there's 500 deep. You know what I mean? I have right to that area just like everybody else, and you know, you can say whatever you like, but I'm there because that's where I live, and I can wave. You can mix up whatever you like mix. Oh, he's a Trump supporter. Oh, you're like, oh, he's a black. I'm running as a nonpartisan. I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat, I'm local, you know, and you can take it whatever you like. I'm not gonna let anybody like, oh, it's too hard because there's so much people. No, I'm a candidate like everybody else. I deserve to be there like everybody else. So, you know, and yeah, not yet, Mel. Not yet. I hear that comes like in the second term, huh?
For me, it was the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh term. Oh, you know, I'm gonna tell you this time. We was in Kapa, Charlie, Kapa Town, right by Port. Get the triangle right by what's that? Country Kitchen or Family, whatever that by Ponokai.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I stood right there on that grass triangle. We stayed all there with our team. Just everybody waving. Good response. This van, I think it was a rental van, but they come up going up north, and I hear the horn, beep beep, bap bap, yeah. I was like, hey, that's awesome. Those fellas had make one U-turn, come back down, open up the sliding side door of the van,
No.
and the Wahinis had all hem of their pants and Munas going down south. What you make out of that, Augie? What? I mean, you voted for me or not? What the hell was that?
Yeah.
Was I've never seen anything like it. It's like bizarre.
It's the moon over Manakura. It's gonna tell you.
Yes,
The moon
three
over Manakura.
moons.
You know, I
Three
take that back.
moons.
The day of the primary, I go walking with my family, and there's picture or videos of my family and I walking, and I am by Foodland, and I'm not gonna say what nationality, but European. Yeah, from the European region of. Anyway, so I'm walking. I have my wife thought it was funny and made a vote for Augie sign where I can put it over my shirt while we walking, exercising. So we walking, and I stop it, and one guy pull up and yell, "You're a communist!" That was the worst. Oh, and he used the F word. He used the F word and called me a communist. And then, you know, my wife kind of just laughed, and my wife said, "I don't think he knew that was you," because he said, "Augie's a communist," and I'm like right here. And he kept yelling at me, so he never knew that I was Augie. He just, yeah, that was one of them, you know, and I just kind of laughed it off. You know, I think it's a comic.
It builds character, man.
Yeah, as a comic, you know, you get that. You get guys who disagree. That's why I used to laugh. I used to always make, you know, public service announcements before going on stage. You know, you do a discretion. You know, if you are easily offended, now is the time to leave. But don't ask for a refund because my shows are always cheap. And you know, it always bogs my mind when people pull me on the side and, you know, want to complain about the act. And I'm going, you know, you came here to laugh and not take notes and criticize, right? Like, so I got a lot of those, you know, I got a lot of, and I think that helped me prepare for the stick fingers and being called a communist, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
You remember the Ray cards?
Oh,
You remember them?
of
Ricky
course.
and
Yeah.
So anyway, our show that we would do at the steakhouse was like the Ray cards. We started playing Hawaiian music, then we start talking with the crowd, we start getting in a jokey mood.
Yeah.
Start going into contemporary, and we start doing skits like the records.
Wait now, wait now. Here's my question, Uncle Charlie.
Yeah.
Were you the Mahu one or you the
Oh,
straight one?
there's
Okay.
Ricky. You talk about Ricky, yeah?
Yes. Yes. You know, all the Filipinos love that guy.
Oh, he
Mel, you
he.
know who the Ray cards are, Mel?
Oh yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
my mom
And,
didn't
and,
leave
he,
us home.
I
You know,
never thought about that until now, Charlie. You're right, man. That was I
you
yeah.
you know, Ricky had that face that on really only a special person could laugh. So and he could. So we used to do that kind of skits, and some people, and I would do the disclaimer. I said, if at any time, if any of you have been offended, please know one thing: tough. We leave it at that. It's like tough.
Yeah.
And some of them said, why'd you do that? I said, okay. The next week they come, hey, he said, anyway, we cannot get in. It's all booked already. I said, weren't you the one giving me a hard time last time? I said, well, but I was always uptight. If they had room, I bring them back in and I just say, tone it down. We're here to have fun. We're just
Yeah.
here to have fun. Yeah.
I've in the 28 years I've got so much stories about guys who saw the first DVD where I talked about my son coming out of the closet and how much that helped them. Because that wasn't an act, I wasn't lying. I was frustrated. I mean, I grew up in a family of fighters, and you have an openly gay son, and you either go and take it the way most men did back in those days, or you're gonna look at your kid like how you saw when they first were born, innocent, happy, and I had to bite that reality. But a lot of people don't know that really honestly healed my heart, because that's not an easy topic to talk about. And I talked about this like almost 20 years ago, and during that time, I used to have guys, construction workers, come up to me after, bro, I cannot believe you talk about that kind of stuff, you know? And now I get construction workers, I get policemen come up to me and go, Augie, I tell you something. I go, what's up? My boy Mahu too. All right, high five. You know what I mean? And it's we live in a different world.
Yeah.
And people are more open, people are more accepting. That's why when they attack, you this party or that party, I'm like, man, all you have to do is just go look at my 20 years. I've talked about a range of topics, but at the end of the day, there's heart behind it, because you cannot find humor if you don't go through the challenges. It's hard to find it unless you're really serious and you like solve problems. But my job for 28 years was to find humor in all those things. And that's why it's so intriguing now, because I have to look at the problem and go, how do I solve it? How do I put this in front of people to go, hey, look, let me hear what you have to say on this side. Let me hear what you have to do. Because, we can figure this out. We cannot be thinking one way. We gotta all sit down and try to figure this out. And that's why I'm intrigued by the whole thing, because when you look at the world one way for a long time and you hear people go, wow, man, because you talked about that and you was real about that, it made sense. Perfect. Then I did my job.
Okay, you made it okay. You gave people when I'm talking about your son now, the whole, I remember where I watched it. I cannot remember where I watched it, but I remember watching it. It was it I don't know if it was a special on TV. I can't remember, but I vividly remember you talking about it. I remember you sharing that your son became a partner with you in the show, in the writing of the
Yeah.
acts and the jokes and you would clear it with him. You would talk to him before you went out
Yeah.
and made do a routine. But you made it okay. There's a lot of people out there, and trust me, I know a lot of people that struggle with it. But you
Mhm.
gave that people you opened that door, so people said, wow, maybe I am looking at it too much on one side. Maybe I can be like Augie and love my son or my daughter. And so you you helped so many people get past that and accept it, because you're right, man. We live in a new world. We live in a new
Right.
time.
And
And
think about this, right? Like even the homeless, right? Think about the homeless problems we have. I know you guys have a homeless problem. Oh, come on here. My daughter is walking down. But real quick, right? Somebody asked me about the homeless problem, and I've talked about it in my act. I have family members that are homeless, and we know that part of the problem is we just allowed it to just continue. We have laws. We let it continue. And my whole point, and all you have to do is read Civil Beat. I'm like, no one should be allowed to sleep like that. No one. It is not humane. So let's go get everybody in the room, because he has been trying to solve this thing for the last 10 years and insist that nobody should be sleeping in public parks, on our streets. Because what kind of an example are we setting for our children? I know my dad wasn't the most smartest guy, and we never have a homeless problem like we had now. But I remember sitting in the car with my dad, and people laugh at this joke, but my dad would look, I'm the oldest of five brothers, right? But we would sit in the car. My dad go, "You see that? Look at that over there. See that? That's what happens when you go to school." Only had one. Right? And we all knew that one guy. And he'd look at us. You like be like that? And we all sitting in the back of the car. No, you better study hard and you better work. And people laugh at that. People laugh at that. But how many of us heard that from our parents? How many of us, you know what I mean? And that's the balance, when it comes to comedy. But how true is that in every day? You allow 1 tent, 2 tent, 3 tent. Pretty soon, people with hard time goes, I'm just gonna pull my tent because nobody gonna see me over there. I'm just gonna fit in. And we all know when you allow that to happen, people become leaders of their own community. Pretty soon you get on mayor. Pretty soon you get on store. Pretty soon you get your own. We know that, your own hospital. But is that right? No. Is it an eyesore? Yes. And we need to solve the solution. If not, I'll go back and I don't get in, and I'll continue to talk about how ridiculous it is. So that's how I see the world, and that's why, like, Mahea, come. I don't, Mahea, say Uncle hi to Uncle Charlie. This is my daughter, Mahea.
hi.
Yeah. So she's studying for a test, and you know this, man, because your daughter's too is a esthetician and in the medical field. So
yeah, we're in like the full swing of learning all of our aesthetics and our protocols and stuff. So I got home and I'm covered in coconut oil, and I haven't had the chance to wash it off yet.
Wait, hold, time out. Why? Did you go to the beach? Is your class at the beach?
Oh no! So I go to the Skin Institute International on Queen Street, and a lot of the massages that we do and all of our treatments, we use coconut oil. So when we're learning and we're training, we do it on each other. We do the surfaces on each other. So we practice, like some of the students practice on me, I practice on the students, and it gets very oily.
I try to keep her away from Kalihi when she's smelling like coconut. All my somewhere friends, Charlie, what is that smell?
well, we used refined coconut oil, so it doesn't smell.
Oh my God, refined. Wait. No, sorry. This coconut. I know, right? It's on the lower part of the tree.
Yeah, I
didn't know. The ones on the high, that's not refined. The lower one.
I got it. Okay.
But she's one of the reasons why I'm running for office, because of her amazing work in the community. And I tell this a lot to people, until when she started this foundation, the last thing I wanted to do is to become Frank De Lima and go to the schools and sing songs and try, I just wanted to be a comic. But as she started doing the work, I realized, wow, man, there's a need, and now is a good time to share. So I'm like all my kids inspire me, and Mahea just challenged me to step outside the box.
Well, Mahia, I met Mahia a few times. I know she has no recollection of any of those, but the last one actually, Brave, you guys were at the at the Capitol. Remember Bernard, Mayor Cavalli and I went, and there was a whole event going on, and you were there, and it was just incredible. You talked about your program, and I learned a lot about your program actually from your dad, and it's so inspirational, and you started a long time ago. I mean, you were, I cannot even believe you're graduated already, but you, this seems not too long ago. You were this little kid that was inspiring people all over, and now you're an adult now and continuing to do this as well as getting your education. So yeah, we're just really proud of you. You
Thank
proud of your
you.
dad? You proud of your dad right now that he's doing it?
I am. Growing up, I always, everyone knew him as the funny guy. And I mean, I just saw him as my dad, but I knew that there's so much more to him than just, let me go on stage and crack jokes. Like, that's a great part about him. And it's something that I really admire. That's probably what, inspired my love of performing. But seeing that he had a real big passion for not just, making people laugh, but caring about people and showing, that he does have a lot of initiative and that he does, want to make, his impact on the world. Not that he already hasn't, because of course he has, but in a different way. And I think it's really eye-opening to know that you can make a difference in more than just one way. And I think that's one of the big things that I really wanted to accomplish. And that's why I started Brave. And that's why, I go out and I do community service and I try to do as much as I can, because there's always a way for you to, make an impact on the world. And it's actually kind of funny because when I go to school every day, we do, every Monday, we have a leadership Monday where we kind of talk about something that's inspiring to us, or the owner of our school, she'll come in and she'll, tell us a little empowering story. And one of those stories was that how young people want to make an impact. They're so passionate about making an impact on the world. And it really opened my eyes, because I realized that a lot of people don't get that opportunity. A lot of people don't get the opportunity to get out there and make an impact. And it's up to us, the leaders of the community, to, be that voice for those people and allow those people to speak through us. And we can get their voices out there and have them be heard, because, maybe they're not strong enough. Maybe they're not big enough. Maybe, they're just too afraid to speak up. And that's what, people like us are here for, to hear them and speak their message.
What I'm going to say to both of you is that, ever since I've known your dad or seen your dad perform, I always told myself, I said, that's one comedian, he's really comfortable in his own skin. And that for me, that means a lot, because you can tell that his delivery of what he's doing on stage is well thought out. It's not just like, off the cuff and don't make sense. So that means that he put a lot of effort into his material. And just listening to you right now, I said, man, you just like your dad. You comfortable in your own skin. You know what direction you want to go, and it's just like you got it dialed in, and you're gonna go for it. And I think I can see you telling a lot of kids nowadays in school, especially the ones that they start off good, and somewhere along the line they went haywire. They made on fast left or fast right, and nobody around like to mentor them, to bring them back. Not in a scoldful way, like most kids, they worry about getting scolding, but just saying, hey, you were doing good. Now's a chance for you to come back so you can complete that journey. And I think, just listening to you right now, I'm very, very impressed, because this is actually the first time, other than watching you on the videos, this is the first time I've actually having a live talk with you. And I said, whoa, this girl is light years ahead of her time. I said, oh,
Thank you.
that's impressive.
She was light years ahead from when she was a kid. It was just like, wow.
You know why I say that? Because when Uncle Mel and I grew up, they gave us flashlight with no batteries, so you can tell we're not that light. Anyway, we're not light in the head too. So anyway, but it's unbelievable, unbelievable. Right now,
That's why we got lost a lot of times. Lost a lot
I
of
mean,
times.
it's so funny when we're talking, and I heard you guys talk about like police reform, and I respect what you both did as police officers, and somebody jumped on my social media and said, "Hey, Augie, you might be on the wrong side of history because you're being endorsed by Shopo," and I tell this to my children, I tell this to people, you make you a responsibility for every action that you do. You know, for me, being growing up in Kalihi Valley and in our housing, we all my brothers lived in the same house, but we chose different paths. Some of them really loved the police and like getting arrested. That's the reality. I had a brother that was a career criminal. He loved getting arrested, loved going to DH and jail. I never liked, but we lived in the same household because we all chose our paths. And I said, if it wasn't for police officers, I wouldn't be sitting here. And, there's so much people in our community that are so impactful that can make differences and give kids or adults a different thinking. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't have seen it because I'm working extra hard so that I can send our schools and the other kids to school. And our lives are busy running pageants, her foundation, and keeping things going. And if it wasn't for her being in a situation she was in when she was 11 years old, being bullied, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. And it's because um, we were able to see the signs. And if one of the things, and I know Mel, you're passionate about this, like if it's one thing that I can do is give parents an extra 15-10 minutes a day so that they can go home and they can spend time with their kids. And the reason why that's not happening is because we're not spending enough time with our children. We hear it from the people that never, how we got lucky because we're so busy. But man, parents, it's time for us to take some time and just listen. And if I never have an awesome wife, we wouldn't have known. And I don't know where Mahea would have been right now. But because, we were there, she became a stronger person and she learned quickly that she had to rely on people that are positive in her life. And, there's so much kids. And one of the things that she loves doing is she loves telling the kids like, hey, you should want to be better than what we're doing. Yeah. When we go speak at different places, we're like, yeah, what we do is cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's because still being young, I know that, when people come in, like especially in school, we'd sit down at assemblies and, there's these adults and these people would come in and they talk about, really great things, really, inspiring things that we should really take to heart. But the difference between, those people and us as students was that we couldn't really connect. And it was really hard for a lot of my friends and my classmates to connect with those speakers. And because like being such a young person and being able to go into the schools and talk to kids who are close in my age, I'm able to really connect with them. And I'm really able to, I guess, inspire them because they can see me, or they can see themselves in me. And I think that's a really big thing because a lot of young people and just a lot of people in general, they have a hard time, like I said earlier, finding out how they want to be that impact in the world, how they can put, their footprint onto the earth and say, I did this. This is, I'm proud of doing this and that, whatever. And it's hard for a lot of people because they don't have that inspiration. They don't have that spark to show them, or someone to tell them, or, some epiphany that happens, maybe a dream, I don't know, that tells them, this is for you. This is your calling. You just have to get out there and do it. And, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe you want to be like the best comedian in the world. But so you go on the internet, you look up how to be a comedian, or you look up, you know, greatest comedians. And then you end up getting, you know, overwhelmed or intimidated because you see these amazing people that are so good. And you're like, I don't know if I could ever be like that. And you need, you know, somebody that you look up to, someone like an amazing comedian to say, you need to strive to be me and strive to be better than me. Because once you hear that, and once you hear that person say, you can do it, you can be better than me, that gives you that little push. At least that's what I think. I don't know.
No, and that's why I love when we go and we speak, because that's the whole motivation. Like, you know, we just do it because we love doing it, and you should look and go, how do I make this better?
Right. Because I think, I know there are a lot of people out there who they find something that they're really passionate about, you know, they find something that they're really good at, and they keep it to themselves. They don't share it, you know, they don't share their secrets, they don't share, you know, their tips and their tricks. And I mean, all of them, that's great. You know, if you have, you know, an amazing talent and you want to keep that to yourself, that's great and everything. But there's so much, I think there's so much more joy in being able to share that experience with other people and have it spread even further. Because you don't want, you know, you don't want to be the only person that provides that, you know, whatever it is that you have, because you're going to get burnt out. You're not going to want to do it anymore. And you know, you want to find somebody else to be like, here, let me teach you what I know. Let me, you know, inspire you.
And that's why you guys are so successful. Holy smoke, you better wait, because Uncle Mel and Uncle Charlie gonna sing after this. I can't wait.
I did get approval. My agent said I can. I was kind of quiet because I had to wait for him to text me back, but he said it's all good. Mahea, your organization is Brave. You want to share a little bit about what does Brave stand for?
Yeah, so Brave, I started Brave when I was 13 years old. Brave stands
How
for.
old are you now? I'm sorry, how old are you now?
I'm 20.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started Brave at 13. Brave stands for Be Respectful and Value Everyone. And we first started out as Brave Hawaii. We're now trying to, you know, expand into Brave America. We actually have a couple of people in the mainland that want to, you know, adopt Brave into their communities, into their states, and spread our message to them, which I think is super awesome. And I'm super excited for that to really take off. But we're working on so many things right now. We're working with American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
Oh, that's another thing. In 2 days, people are gonna be able to watch the suicide prevention program, and I host that, and we share about how, you know, suicide, you know, is such a just destructive thing for families. And, you know, hopefully with this presentation, you know, a lot of people will come out and talk about, you know, their own personal challenges.
Yeah, that's like one of the big things we focus on with Brave is encouraging young people, but specifically young people, to speak out about, you know, what's going on, you know, if they're having, you know, a bad mental health day, if something's going on at school or at work, or any, you know, just out in the wild, if something's going on, we really try and, you know, encourage these people to speak up, because it's, you know, if you don't say anything, no one's gonna know. And there's that saying that people, you know, who are like hurting the most inside have like the brightest smile. And you really have to, you know, reach out to those people, or you need to find the strength in yourself to reach out and say something, because if you don't, you know, it can lead to some really, really bad outcomes that we try to, you know, we want to prevent as much as possible. So in order to, you know, spread that positivity and spread that positive message and kindness, we're actually doing a project right now called.
This is fun. Maybe we can do something on Kauai. You guys gonna love this one.
We're doing a project called, we're partnering with AFSP. It's called Pebbles with a Purpose. And basically it's here, I'll show you. Let's find one. Let's pick this one. It's because it's big. So basically we are painting, oh, you can't really see it. We're painting rocks and we're putting, you know, positive little messages on them. And what we're going to do is we're going to put them out into the community, into the environment, just in, you know, like populated areas for people to find them. And they can either take the rock and keep it and bring it home. And it, you know, reminds them to be kind. It reminds them that the sky's the limit, you know, just really empowering messages. Or they can go ahead and hide it again for somebody else to find so they can keep that positive, you know, message going. And it's something that is, you know, it's easy to do. You can get, you know, your kids to do it. You can get, you know, your class to do it. You know, you can, you know, if you have a class of like 20 kids, you can have them just all paint a rock and put like the word smile on it or something, and they can like hide it. And it's just great. It's a great way to spread positivity. And I'm really excited to really get the ball rolling with this. We're gonna put these out soon.
So we've been painting rocks for the last couple of days.
That was a fad not long ago. My wife was in that. You know, they would go hide rocks, and they put a hint. People would go collect. My house had rocks and all these pebbles, and but you know, I was thinking. I just went to the United Way did a golf ball drop, you know, for a fundraiser. So I was thinking maybe you could do that with find the heavily populated areas and just have the helicopter drop those rocks. And
oh my!
You gotta be real brave.
Yikes!
I think you just lost your agent.
Lucky he never say you paint the rock. Watch out! Watch out!
You know, I know Augie. My daughter, she's old now. She's in Oregon. She's actually an esthetician. She's living up there and doing really well. But when she was 13 years old, while you was creating foundations, she was taking the wrong path in life. When she was 16, she wrote this book. And that she took the picture at the beach. She designed the cover. When she was only 16 years old, and this book is just a book of quotes that she didn't copy and paste. She just, from 13 years old, when she was having some issues, she wrote down quotes that came to her mind. And one day I told her, why don't you write a book? And she did, and she published the book. She had all of that copyright crap, spent some money. And then she was giving these things away, and then the county actually bought a bunch of them to pass out to the kids. But it's exactly what you're talking about. And as I'm reading this now, as I'm going through this and listening to you talk, it's like it's almost like she had spoken to you to get her thought process straight. And you know, I'm extremely proud of her. I really wanted her to pursue, do a second printing and put them on Amazon, and you know, I would make all the profits because she wasn't really.
Of course. I know we can drop books from the helicopter.
Oh my gosh!
Yes. I mean, you're giving me another idea.
Hey,
No. You're gonna drop them in Ever Beach, and somehow that they're gonna float all the way to Hawaii Kai. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but you know what you're doing, and I know because and Teresa Koki, she's our anti-drug coordinator here in Kauai. She was part of that. They purchased the books to hand out, and she has people today that goes back and tells my wife and I that, you know, this book saved a lot of people's lives. And it's just little, let the judgmental people be your motivation and prove them wrong. This is just simple things.
Yeah.
When you disrespect yourself, you give others permission to disrespect you. This 13 years old, she started jotting these things down and created enough of them to. So the question really is, and I know you're doing what you do, but how do we get that word out? How do we get these this inspirational people like yourself in front of the kids that need them?
Suggestion, because now's the right time. Because of what's been happening with COVID and everybody has been indoors, we've had a lot of comments, a lot of messages about the children being cooped up because socially, they're supposed to be outside, especially at a younger age. They're supposed to be with their friends. That's part of growing up. That all got taken away from them. So now they're they're sort of at a disability because they got taken away. And I think someone needs to come in, like, I'm not saying, maybe I'm endorsing you both, but somebody like you both actually coming in with an effective program to start talking to these kids, because, nobody, it was nobody's idea to throw COVID on us. It just happened. The kids have to understand that, and measures were taken to block COVID from getting to us. But when they did that, that space in between is where your lives were dependent on as learning in school got taken away from you. Now we got to fast track and get you back. And I think your message, what you've just been talking about in the last 15 minutes, can drive that point home. You folks can really take it there. That's what I see.
Something cool happened. I think it was last year. A teacher, we got to speak. Was it Waikiki Elementary?
Yeah, no, Waikiki. it was Alawai Elementary.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And that was
near.
like that's like pretty near. 2-ish years ago.
Yeah. So Alawai Elementary. That's your book, man. So Mahea came in and read her book. It's Okay to Be Different, when she did this when she was 11 years old. And she read.
Clarify.
Okay.
I wrote this when I was 11. I spoke there when I was like 18 or 19.
Okay.
Just want to clarify.
Right? Okay, can you get it right? I'm glad I invited her on. My God.
What was awesome about this is that we went in, we did the presentation about bullying, we read the story, and then 3 months later we went back and the kids wrote books themselves. And they wrote books about respect. So they did their own story on respect. They did their own story on sharing. And then they did the peace garden. That's how the Pebbles, they made a peace garden, and then they shared that with the leaders in the community, then the school. And it's exactly what you're talking about, Charlie. I think that's one of the reasons, that was kind of a push, that those little things matter. Those, making somebody's life a little bit better. That quality of life is so valuable. Sometimes we worried about, the massive, when we can get one person, that might be enough to just, and that's what happened with that school teacher. She went on and, it was so cool watching those kids, share their stories on respect, share their story about sharing, share their stories about, being, they had like 5 different topics about giving, and they all did stories on their personal selves.
Yeah, just really positive messages that they could spread to the rest of their class. And I think, another thing that was inspired from that experience at Alawai Elementary is actually another program that it's kind of hard because of COVID and everything that's going on, but we're creating this program called the Brave Leadership Academy, which is basically a way to allow, students, school clubs, community leaders, influencers, really anybody who wants to adopt the message and the mission of Brave. They learn about what we do. They learn how to, do our programs. They learn how to give, our resources out to people, and they can take all of that and implement it into their communities in their own creative way. And I think that's I personally thought it was a really good way to, push that message out there of being respectful and valuing not only yourself and your classmates, but your environment and your teachers, your school, really everything around you. And to also allow, students and other people to dig inside themselves, find that creativity and find something that they're passionate about to share with the rest of, their classmates, their coworkers, whoever it is, their Instagram followers, whoever it is. And, I went to Sacred Hearts. So I have a couple of friends.
Sorry, Mel, Portuguese. Portuguese.
Yes. So I have a couple of friends who are still attending that school. They're, they're seniors or they're juniors. They're about to graduate. And I wanted either like this year or what, just I recently or soon, I wanted to be able to implement, you know, a Brave Club into Sacred Hearts since I'm an alum, and I thought, you know, it would be a really good idea. Give me an excuse to go back to the school because I miss going there. But
Who misses school?
me, I
Okay,
miss school.
alright.
I had so much fun in high school. I wish I was still in high school. But anyway, I wanted to, you know, make a Brave Club at my school to, you know, just be able to spread my message there and really, you know, see how this Brave Leadership Academy would, you know, work and kick off, kind of like a test run, but also I wanted to do it at Sacred Hearts because my heart is there
So
still.
biased.
But COVID happened, and I, you know, nobody was going to classes and nobody was on campus, and it kind of just snowballed. But that's something I really, really want to do, and I'm hoping that because we work with the DOE, we'll be able to, you know, set something up.
I'd love to come to Kauai and do that, so I
Yeah,
can hang
you
out
know,
with the, you know, the
know,
new rate cards, the new rate cards, new
absolutely.
and
The new-
improved
A
rate
new
cards.
rate
New and
card. Yeah.
improved, the new and improved. You know, one of the things, you know, our kids, as Charlie talked about, you know, they're not able to go to school. They're missing out this huge social connection that, you know, is so important in development. But on the other side, we've had this amazing opportunity to get a lot of kids that, if not for COVID, would not have the opportunity to learn about computers and how to get online and how to Zoom and how to, you know, so that, you know, if you think positively and you want to try to see what, if there was any good out of it, now you have a whole generation of kids that may not have had that opportunity, never knew what the heck an iPad was. All of a sudden, they have this ability to go on. And imagine a Brave Leadership Academy, an online academy where now kids can log in from around the country and participate in a curriculum that would educate our kids and get them in the right frame of mind, the mindset to set them up for success. I think, you know, that's one of the things I think that you got to try to take the good
Mm-hmm.
out of the bad situation, and hopefully get that word out to all the kids around the country. Really, I mean,
Yeah.
I see a lot of possibilities because really, I've always said that. You know, I've always said that it's nothing genius. It's we have the kids. That's where we got to start. That's where we have that crop, and if we take the time and the opportunities to mold them properly and teach them the skills, not just the book skills, but the life skills, and get them to understand that they have abilities and that they can go and do what they want. We've got to do them from when they're young. We got to do them from when they're very energetic and they have
Well,
that
you know,
ability to
you think,
dream, because most people lose that ability to dream
yeah.
because of all the negativity in their lives.
Well, you think about we're hearing lots of talk about sustainability, agriculture, right? But we all know if you look at what's happening, big ag got to work with small ag, the backyard farmers. They got to somehow come together to work things out because we not have enough resources to feed the entire island unless we sit down and we come together. Now, we know in the last couple of years that farming, they use this word a lot, is not sexy, right? When I was telling Mahea, when we were growing up and we had a summer program, Uncle Charlie, maybe even you remember this, you had to go work a summer job. If it wasn't at the rec center, guess where you was going? Either Molokai or Lanai to go pick pineapple.
Exactly.
And I just said this to the BIA. I said, look, if we got to talk about sustainability, we know there's almost 2 million acres of ag land or land that can be used in Hawaii for ag and building affordable housing. And if we got to talk about sustainability, then you got to make this something that's taught at a very young age. I knew in 8th grade that I wasn't going to be on farmer. Sorry. I never like wake up at 5. I never like pull pineapple. I never like do none of that. I'm going, look, I'm going to try study. I'm going to do my best not to. But then I had classmates that loved that lifestyle. So we're looking at a big reset. If we're gonna feed our island and we're not gonna have to worry about import, then maybe we gotta start really implementing exactly what you said. It has to be a curriculum that will make you go, ooh, maybe this farming thing not for me. But I understand at an early age that it's important because this is what feeds our community. This is what makes us money. Some of us gonna like them, or some of us gonna figure out ways to make it better. And that's the kind of talks I think is so exciting during COVID because we now have an opportunity for a great reset. We know tourists are coming in. So where we gonna get that money from? Everybody talking about sustainability. Well, we gotta get big ag and the backyard farmers because the backyard farmers that can feed the community. They gotta work with big ag to help maybe till the land. And you gotta get kids interested in wanting to learn about how to do that, how to feed ocean, fishermen, all these things. Now we have this great opportunity to for this big reset. And like you said, people are learning how to be better on computers. People are gonna learn how to be better farmers. People are gonna learn how to be better merchandisers because of this. And I know there's so much business people that want to open and they're going. We'll get a couple knuckleheads. We cannot stop that. But I know business owners that's ready for open and they're like do nothing more because they put their whole life savings to protect them, the employees and the people. I like know why we don't have all these people involved talking, trying to find a solution. We only get kingpins talking. We're planning Monday morning quarterbacks. It's easy, Mel. You've been in it where, we can criticize. Now it's not the time to criticize. Now is the time for dialogue. And now is the time for have really straightforward discussions because it's people's lives that are hurting right now. And that's why I love it. I love the reset. I love that, we can do this kind of things. And I learned about Zoom because of you, but you had to learn about doing Instagram live because of me. Remember that first night?
I remember that was a little difficult. That was a little difficult. I mean, I had no idea what the heck he was talking about, but we got it to work. We got it to work.
I wanted to share. My wife has been very, very somewhat influential in trying to get the farm to school project underway.
Mm-hmm.
And here on Kauai, what they've done is they donated a lot of the equipment to Waimea High School to retill all the soil. So they have a farming program now.
Wow.
And so what we want to do, and we wanted to do this, but because of COVID, the kids as part of like an internship and get credits, they can go out to the fields and actually work the fields to get their hands and get their credits for their school that way. That's what they wanted to do. But it is our goal to sustain all the fresh vegetables on Kauai for all the schools for the DOE system.
So when I was in the lieutenant governor's office, Uncle Charlie, I was part of that farm to school program, and that really opened my eyes on how, we are just buying stuff that's cheap, that's not helping our students. It's gonna cost a little bit more, but now, with COVID, now we can really maybe have that discussion on getting real people cooking fresh food for our students so that they stay active, they stay attentive, and most importantly, healthy. Because right now they're buying the cheapest things so that they can feed the kids, but we're wasting a lot of food too much.
Well, we did that program with our shrimp company up here, providing the shrimp to the schools. So they was making them shrimp tacos. They never had that before. Now we went away from the frozen stuff and give them all fresh stuff to eat.
Yeah.
And implement even making salsa with fresh mangoes from the mango farms we have.
Ooh.
So that's something. I think his name was Dexter Kishida. He worked on that program for the DOE. So hopefully it'll pick up again since we're kind of like moving out of COVID in a way.
Mm-hmm.
to help.
Like I said, like what a great time to like reset and really, fix some of the challenges, that we've seen the last 20, 30 years and really honestly have heavy discussions so that we can really make Hawaii a better place that's sustainable, people like coming to because it's safe. Man, there's so much possibilities. That's what I'm excited about. There's so much possibilities because of what we're going through right now. Yeah, absolutely. You know, a learning curve. Yeah, Mel.
Yeah, well, the only way they're going to work, though, I'm gonna be honest with you, man, and it's the difficult part is restructuring the mindset of government. They got to start, you know, like your daughter is a resource. I mean, amazing resource.
I'm
You
trying.
know,
I'm trying to get her to run like Uncle Charlie. I'm
we can
I'm
do that.
trying.
We can do that. We can do that. But you know, in the commissions, in the advisory committees, all of these, you know, right now you said you call it, what did you call them? All the you said the term earlier about the people that are making the decisions. The what did you call them? Something else. But anyway, right now the decisions are being made by special interests. Bottom line, that's what it is. Everything is tied to the dollar. That's the way it works. That has to change. That has to change. We got to get more people like your daughter, like my daughter, in areas that they can help be part of the discussion to make change. Because if you keep the same people in the same decision-making position, guess what? You're gonna get the same result. So we
You end up
need
singing flat. You end up
Huh?
singing flat.
They're not even singing, they're farting. They're farting. They're gassing. That's what it is. They're gassing.
If
And it smells.
he said it, not me.
I did. I did. It's gas. It's pure gas. And people getting tired of it, you know. And again, my son and daughter both left the stinky room because they cannot make it over here.
Mm.
I'm just telling you, man, it's, you know, and I can only hope and pray that your daughter can find success here and be able to raise her family here in Hawaii. And that's not going to happen if we don't get some young people making decisions, or at least in a capacity where they can offer suggestions.
Mhm.
That's what we're lacking right now. I tell you, it happens here on Kauai. I know it's happening on Oahu. You get, you know, our legislature. You know, it's unfortunate. That's just how the system is. And
Yeah, well, look what's happening with you guys' podcast. I mean, people are finding information and they're looking for common sense solutions. They're listening and finding, you know, information that was hidden for a long time, and now it's like you can get just by going online and listen to rational people that are independent thinkers. They're not leaning one way or the other way, but they can sit down and have a rational discussion. And
the biggest difference is this right here. We have absolutely no influence of special interests. No, we you know, we dissect the issue at face value and we bring people in for share. And there is absolutely nobody going to tell. Can you imagine somebody calling Charlie up and say, "Hey, Mr. Yona, can you not talk about this? We heard your show last night. You better ease off."
That's why I don't run for office. It's because of that situation. Go, what did you say? Check on me.
This is what would happen, Charlie. This is what would happen. Hey, Charles, how was your day today? I heard you received a phone call. You gotta receive the phone call from John Doe. Did he threaten you? Really? That's what would happen, Augie and Mahea. We would expose them for doing that, and so they know better. I have not received one. I don't get a lot of people upset. A lot of people upset, but they know. If you call me, the world will know tomorrow night at 7:00.
Yeah. No, I remember, you know, talking to you, and you went on that long rant before you discovered Zoom.
Oh
you
yeah.
were accusing you, and I was like, whoo. And this is before I even thought about running for office. I remember going, you good? Yeah, but I just needed to vent.
I mean, I know I won't get a state job anytime soon. I'm looking for a state job. You know?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys, you know, having my daughter on, and, you know, letting her share about, you know, Brave and all the things that we're doing, and, you know,
So the big question is, if someone is watching right now, and I really want to get you connected with my daughter, but you have a website, you get a, you know, is there something that people can jump on a mailing list or?
We have bravehawaii.org. That's where most of our Brave stuff is at. You can also find me on Facebook, Mahea Sims Toba. That's a lot of my my community service, my Miss Hawaii updates, everything is on there. Find him on Facebook. He posts a lot about me on Facebook. But but we're always doing things. We're always doing stuff. So I guess Facebook would be the best place to find, really, current things that we're working on. BraveHawaii.org is mostly just Brave information.
In a couple of weeks, people are gonna be able to watch Brave Hawaii TV. I gotta check what channel it's gonna be on Kauai. I think it's 50. It used to be the tourist channel. It's a group of local guys that bought the antenna, and they want to do local programming. So you'll be able to watch Brave Hawaii TV, which ran for 2 seasons on Oceanic, and what another great opportunity to like get the message out. Yeah,
Good.
It's critical. It's very, very critical. Right now we kind of have a captured audience, because I'm talking we meaning the Hawaii,
yeah,
because everybody's waiting and begging and wanting to get the info that they need to survive, really. So now is an opportunity. The reset opportunity window is going to close very shortly. And my biggest fear right now is that, because tourism is a easy moneymaker, right? It's so tempting to just go back to where we were, rather than reinvent Hawaii and create a whole new sustainable economy with diversification and all that. It'll be just easy to go back to where we were. And unfortunately, that's the direction this administration has taken, getting the visitors to come. We want to rebuild those numbers, and this opportunity gonna pass us by. And that's why we need people like Mahea, the young ones, to go up and raise some cane, make some noise, rather than protest the front of the state building about wearing a mask, go protest about creating a sustainable economy, about diversification. That's what really we got to get the word out, because this window is not going to stay open forever, unfortunately. So
yeah, I think
I
it's
gotta
super
ask. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Maya.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I just think it's super important, even like, especially like during COVID and, everything that's going on in the world in these last couple of months. It's just really important for people to really, get out there, maybe not physically out there. Of course, we want to social distance and whatnot, but, to just get their opinions out there and to really, stand firm with what they believe in, and to just, not, don't follow the herd. Like, if there's something you're passionate about, there's some change that you want, don't, silence yourself because everybody else is, picking, choice A when you think choice B is better. Just say it, just do it. And if, people don't believe you, I mean, my mom always says this, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So if you keep saying something, something's going to happen. That's all I have to say.
The question is that coconut oil or motor oil?
Hopefully coconut oil. Maybe it'll help me like it a little bit more.
Refined. What was it? Refined coconut oil?
Yes. Yeah, we're
right?
using refined coconut oil, so it doesn't smell like so strongly of coconuts, because I think I would probably die if I smelled like coconuts every day. Not saying that I don't like coconuts, they're great, but the smell of coconut oil is a little strong for me.
Smell like Waikiki.
Yeah.
Augie, you on joke for us, Augie. You on joke. I mean, I hate to, I don't like to yell a COVID joke,
you know how much I've been attacked because I'm a comic. Someone told me, like, I think the most beneficial thing about this is that when I'm shopping with my wife, she cannot see the words that is coming out of my mouth. This is so beneficial. You know what I mean? Like, I've said things, like, if I didn't have the mask, you'd see me go, but with this, man, oh, ML, early in the morning, and you notice when you sign waving and you yawn, they cannot even see you yawning. They cannot. They don't know. And I'm pretty good because I took acting lessons, right? You don't know what I'm thinking about when I'm just, right now I'm mad because I gotta go work. But they don't know. You don't know. It's the most.
I cannot tell. You look
Yeah.
really, really happy, right? You look really excited. You look really.
No, I'm really mad.
Yeah, I know, but cannot tell. Cannot tell.
I
That's what
think
I'm saying.
on a similar note, if we're gonna go off of that, me with masks, I like to. Okay. Before this whole COVID thing happened, I thought wearing like masks, like face masks, was kind of cool. Like wearing like the black ones or whatever, as like a fashion statement. I thought it was really awesome. But now the whole mask thing, I'm kind of grateful for it because I don't have to wear lipstick every day.
Oh, yeah.
Because wearing lipstick sometimes gets kind of in the way. So.
Well, her brother's upset because they cannot see their lipstick. My son would come, Dad, no one can see. I bought this amazing lip gloss. No one can see what's going on. No one can see nothing.
It's okay. He can just put the lip color on the mask, and then he could be like, "This is the color I'm wearing under my mask."
Right.
You'd see it, but I'm wearing a mask.
Yeah,
so
it's so easy to write comedy when you live with the type of family. It's very diverse, guys. I have a gay conservative son and a gay liberal son. Can you just for a moment think about
In the
this.
same house?
In the same house. So one was saying, if Trump 4 years ago, if Trump wins, I'm moving. I'm moving. If he wins, I'm moving. Right? And I was like, wow, okay. Let's bet then. You know how exciting my house was the night President Trump won? You know how when it was like 2:78, I was upstairs packing his clothes. Like, bye, Felicia. 28 years old. Goodbye. Dad, I was just joking. And of course, and Christmas at my house, all these guys, I'm like the only man in this family. All girls. Charlie.
Hey, Christmas is fun. You know what? Christmas is fun. We make everybody dress up, like insanely dress up. Like we put ball gowns on, and we put some crazy makeup on, and we take.
Not me.
He puts stuff on too. Maybe not a ball gown, but he puts some stuff on too. And we sit on the couch. We have a photo shoot, and we don't ever open presents until like 8 p.m. because we're too busy doing other crazy things.
Is there, by any chance, are there photos of this that maybe you could share with me? I promise I won't put it on.
No, I'll show you. I'll show you because the week prior to that is like all day at Ross's. Okay. All day. My sons, they're following, my wife, my daughter, and they're all wearing this. Who's, oh, that would look good on you. And I gotta sit there. And wait. That's why it's valuable right now. Because I'm sitting in Ross's, losing my mind. Every bad word possible is coming out of my mouth, but nobody can see it because I'm running for office. Nobody can see it, but so I'm grateful for this. Not only is it saving my life, but really protecting me from not losing my marriage. I see Uncle Charlie. He has the guitar. Mel. Yeah. Come on.
Hang on. I gotta grab my ukulele.
Go get him.
Hang on, my wife.
Yes. You need to see this ending. This is like the best ending of any podcast, webcast. This is like Uncle Mel got his agent representing him. He's like, I guess Journey is looking at him. Uncle Charlie, who's an accomplished singer, because of this routine, no longer is accomplished.
Yeah, this is This
Get
is
ready. Pure heart.
well, before, because we are going to close that. We're going to close the show with this. So, any closing comments there, Augie and Mahea, before we
No.
go to our.
Maya, you want to say anything?
This was very fun. I had a good time. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. You guys brought me on early in my career, early in my political career. A lot of people messaged me to say kind things about, the things that I shared about. And you guys were the start. You guys were a little gasoline that would push the car. So I appreciate whenever you guys need me, I'm here. I can't wait to see what happens in 12 days. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna be quiet now, and we're gonna enjoy, ladies and gentlemen, the haunting voices of the new Ray cards. Wait, hold on. Earth, Wind, and Brothers. No, Earth, Wind, and Brothers.
Earth,
Well, we
wind,
only get
earth,
two.
wind, and gas.
Ooh, Earth, Wind, and
That's
Gas.
better.
Yeah, that's
No,
better.
Honey and shit.
Oh,
Only get two of us.
right. How about Pure Heart? Oh no, no, that's already taken. That's already taken. But I'm excited. I'm gonna put myself up
So,
mute.
Charlie gonna be doing the vamp. He's gonna be playing and I'll tell the story real quick. We won't take long because I know there's a lot of people on here that, if not for you mentioning this song, they would have cut out a long time ago because it's into their regular TV time. But now there have a lot of people that have never seen this, so you guys gotta appreciate why. And Charlie, you can start the vamp. You know how you do that back things? Well, because we gotta kind of forget. We never do this for a while. Cannot hear you, Charlie.
Oh, you can't hear me? Yeah, how's that? Can you hear me now?
You gotta stop. Not that loud. Not that loud. They're not gonna hear my voice. Okay, so anyway. So, ladies and gentlemen, way back in March of 2020, we got hit with, the virus and popped it all over the place. And Charlie and I decided that we wanted to do something to help flatten the curve. At that time, we had the curve. We needed to get flat. And it's kind of timely because we're seeing the curve and we're going to see a curve again.
Yeah.
So Charlie and I we did the show. We started to do the show and we were hoping that we could get the message out to flatten the curve. Well, we tried it all. We talked to you. We begged you. We did everything we possibly could. We brought on the police. We brought on the mayor. We brought on everybody. But you guys never listened. Everybody never like flatten the curve. So we decided that if you guys wasn't going to listen and that you wasn't going to flatten the curve, then we going to flatten the curve for you. Here we go, Charlie.
One more time, one more time.
So everybody, we love you guys. Thank you all. You guys stay safe. We love all of you. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Good luck, Augie. God bless, Mahea. Keep on